Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Door Shutter, coming back to you with episode 5 of All the Mods 8. And today, we actually are down here in the caves, and I just stumbled upon this lodestone spawner chest combo thing. Let me quickly take out this zombie. And I went and I did grab a Silk Touch pickaxe, like I said I was going to do quite a while ago. And I think this time we're actually going to work on getting a mob spawner type thing going. This is a cave spider, which isn't the greatest find. Looks like we got more cave spider spawn eggs too. But this is gonna be okay. We're gonna figure this one out. Alright, let's quickly gonna take out this skeleton before it takes me out. I have just kind of been exploring, mining, normally for a little while down here, getting some iron, and kind of just figuring out what we can actually discover down here. So it looks like we got a few like small structures, Apotheosis, artifacts, those lodestone slash obsidian structures that we found above ground once. Now we're finding them below ground with a lodestone instead of a piece of obsidian. Let me step back here. I did not expect to get into some combat in the beginning of this episode, but that's okay. Let's head out of here. So, the spawner. What we're going to do with this... Well, actually, it's not really the greatest, right? Because we want to be able to kill these ourselves or use a mob masher. So I think we'll have to use a mob masher in this case if we're going to use cave spiders, because we don't want to get poisoned left and right. So, I think it's going to be our main focus, is getting this created this episode. And hopefully, whenever we get this all created, we will then be able to, have a decent source of XP. And that way we can repair our tools and everything like that as well. Because that's kind of something I've been struggling with. Also, I went ahead and I made a crude repair kit. There are several tiers of repair kits. Each tier gives you a better repair efficiency. And, of course, we just went with the crude one because I don't have a lot of iron. So I could make the sturdy one now. But basically, whenever you find a material that is suitable for silent gear, so for example, diamonds, you can see this is a tier 3 tool material. So I could use this to repair anything that is tier 3. There's tier 2, there's tier 4. I don't think there's tier 5, but I'm not even sure. But it's just a thing to know. So you just take that with materials. So actually, let's go quickly grab up some materials here. So I use the crimson iron that we have. So let's just grab a couple of these. So you can fill the crafting table, or the small crafting squares in your inventory, and you can add to this. So you can see there's 9 material in here. We put 2 in here, and there's 10. So it doesn't like stack. You'd have to repetitively do it. So you could fill this with 8 to fill in more, and of course grab that. You take your tool, and that'll repair it. It's fantastic. So I just did that as like an emergency backup type of thing, and that is fantastic there. So let's get into making this mob spawner. So one of the things we're going to want to do right away is grab a comparator. So let's go 1, 2, 3. I've got sticks on me. And then we just need some sort of stone. Perfect. Nope, that's light gray wool. That is not stone. It looks very similar. There's stone. Okay, so we need this. Perfect. And then we need the spawner. So we're going to plop this down and then put the comparator in here. And that'll give us adding a switch, which is just making this redstone controlled. If you want to know all of the things you can do with Apotheosis spawners after Silk Touch, of course, look in here. There's a whole bunch of goodies. There's some things we won't be able to obtain right now, which is like this, the gas tier. Oh, we just got a Apotheosis boss spawning in. Let's see, back to this. So we've got like a nether star, ignores light, fermented spider eyes, quite a few just different things in here. Chorus fruit is one of the best in my opinion, just because you will have no AI, which prevents them from fighting back or anything like that. Which is just a significantly better investment than most of the things in here. But we're going to give that some wool so it'll be quiet. Where is that nether star? So we'll throw this in here as well. which will give us the need for not being nearby. So whenever we use this, it'll be fantastic. So I'm trying to think. I know what we can do, but we need catalyzing glands again, I think. Which is this right here. I actually did not know we could make these with hostile neural networks. But we're not even close to hostile neural networks. So that's not even a concern right now. So I think right now this is going to kind of just be a crappier spawner. I don't have anything. I could spawn some creepers, but the problem is I'm not vested for creepers right now, especially if they're going to be high health. And I only have 1 gunpowder, so it's not like it matters. Okay. I don't think there's any other way to get gas tiers. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, we'd have like the blood infuser. Doodle-doo. Okay. Yeah, so there's not much we can do in that one. I don't know how much we really can do in this at all. Because I don't even... Yeah, I have like 1 spider eye. So we really are not prepared for this at all. Do we have any mushrooms? Yeah, we don't even have brown mushrooms. Okay. So this is going to be kind of a crappy spawner. But for right now, I think we'll call this a spawner at least. How do I want to power this? I think we could look at a redstone link, which is this right here from Create. We need a brass casing, though. Okay. Let me make some brass real quick, because I think I've used it all for plates, and I'll be right back with you. Alrighty, so let's make up these redstone links here. So redstone link. We just need redstone torches, so let's quickly grab a couple pieces of redstone, quickly grab a couple sticks. Also, I went ahead and I've been completing quests off camera, by the way. I'm not really too concerned with doing this stuff on camera. This is just kind of a guide. I don't think I mentioned that, but a lot of this is just a guide on how to kind of get from point A to point B. And so most of it I've just been completing, gathering the rewards, and that's about it. So this actually kind of tells you how to progress through the pack itself if you really wanted to. I haven't even read this stuff. So if I just click get started here, you can see that I've done a whole bunch of stuff. What is this? It's the Eccentric's Tome. Yeah, that's cool. Definitely. Holy cow, there's a lot of books. Food book. This is actually a cool one. I've always liked how they've added this. A lot of the meals we've had recently. There's so many foods we have not tried. 495 different foods. So we can just, I think it's punch in the air. There we go. Clear the book here. Okay. Cool. But I genuinely did not know there was a quest line for actually progressing through this. But yeah, we've got quite a lot of it done here. So we could kind of just progress and grab a lot of this stuff. Some of it I can just straight up void. But, you know. Yeah, check out basic storage. Get a furnace of any kind. Yeah, so this is kind of what I've been doing. Starter power. Coal generator. See, I don't like this. This is not a great quest. Because it's like, make a generator. Well, I made a generator, right? I made that. That's a generator. It's not, yeah, I don't like whenever quests are like, make a generator, but I made a generator. I've already done that. So I should have this completed, but I don't because it's not an RF generator or FE generator. Interesting. Just something to keep in mind. Stone to iron furnace upgrade. Time to start a farm. Make a bed. all of these goodies. Of course, I'm just flying through this because a lot of this I know. But you guys can, of course, if you play this pack, you can read through it. Making charcoal. Well, I have a different variation of charcoal, so should that count? Yeah, so some of this stuff I'm going to have to go through and just work on by hand, which is fine. I don't really care. But, you know, tons and tons of goodies, right? Okay. I think for right now, that's going to be all of the quests that we can do as of current. But hopefully, we'll work on doing a lot of this stuff in the future here. Looks like we got a quest for completing a quest. Okay. And that is the main quest line. So there's kind of that. I didn't even realize there was like a main quest line. So we'll have to start getting through a lot of this stuff. I would assume. I don't even know what this fully is. I was wondering why there's that icon. But yeah, mechanism. This wants you to basically forces you to get into mechanism. Okay. All right, you got the deeper dark. You've got angel ring. So the angel ring's probably ridiculous. Let's just type in ring instead of angle. Yeah, this is unobtainium. Okay, so it's stupid. All right, got it. Got it. Not a kitchen sink pack. I've got to remember that. All the mods decides to just override a lot of recipes, and I forgot about that. I believe that's the way for like the structure compass as well, if that's in here. Structure compass. This right here. Yeah, it requires all the modium. That is not the default recipe, ladies and gentlemen. So keep that in mind. There's quite a lot of altered recipes, which personally I don't like. I'll make that known. I do not like it just because I want to play a kitchen sink pack and not be forced into, using one of their mods that they developed for the pack. But, oh well. Anyway, redstone links. Let's grab these. So this is wireless redstone. I guess I only needed one set of those, apparently. That is A-okay. So what we'll basically be able to do is kind of create an area for this. I don't know where I want to put this. But I want to make sure it's in a chunk. I think up here. But we're also going to have to figure out how we want to take care of these guys, right? So, I think for right now, we're just going to set this down. And we're going to have to build around this. So let me grab some building blocks, kind of figure out how I want to build the room. I know we're going to need to do something which is either vector plates to move the creatures into an area, or we're going to have to look at something else. But it looks like we may need to make some slime balls somehow to actually get any sort of like movement. I mean, we also have fans, but if we start looking at the fan, we're going to have to realize that that's going to get expensive real fast. It's this right here. But if we want to have like a bigger distance, we're going to have to make these other ones, which require iron and feathers. And yeah, I don't have that. So let me be right back. I was quickly just taking a look at the quest again one more time. There is no FTB Industrial Contraptions quest line. I've just now realized that. Like, it feels like they just threw it in here and they're like, we won't even bother making quests. There's Create Industrial Foregoing Mechanism and Mechanism Advance and Thermal, and that's it. That's honestly odd. Okay, so real quick, let's make up a Mega Torch. This will prevent mob spawns in a decent radius. This will be helpful for the actual spawner here, but I also want to take a look at one more thing here. Where is... I know I have an ender pearl in here somewhere. Actually, I think I used it. I used it for this, didn't I? Never mind. Okay, I was thinking of creating a gateway to get more slime balls, but I think what we're gonna have to do is kind of early game this by putting water stream into some sort of area that'll take them out. I think we could just force them on top of a mob masher. That's fine. I'm not really too concerned about doing it that way. I don't really want to do it that way, but we'll do it that way nevertheless. Okay, so right there, we're going to put this here specifically because I want to be able to make sure that these creatures are spawning with no limitation by other mobs spawning in caves and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to drop this down 3 blocks. This is actually going 6 blocks in each direction and then up 8. So I'll drop the floor here, get the water installed, and I'll be back to make the mob masher on camera. Okay, so before I install the water, let's install the redstone link here. I'm pretty sure. Let's make sure 100% before I say I'm pretty sure and do this wrong. So no antenna means that this will be sending, this is receiving. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure of. So we need this to be receiving, so we're just going to right click with this wrench. Fantastic. And then all we need to do now is come out here, set that to, what was it, gravel on the bottom. Okay, and then we grab a lever, and this will allow for us to turn this on and off. Of course, I really don't want to turn this on and off, but we'll do this for a second here. So you can see that that toggled, and you can see the smoke coming from the spawner, which means that this is working. Okay, so we can just put that up there for right now, and we'll be back whenever we get the water installed. Okay, so this is a little bit more redneck than I'd like, but we're going to have that platform there, which is going to push them into this water source. And then we're going to have the mob mashers here. And then against this wall here, we're going to have the vacuum something or other, maybe hoppers under the mob masher area. I think what we can try is putting soul sand here and then having hoppers or chutes or something. I think chutes would work. Let's give that a quick test before we go too far. But I think I want to make up at least 4 mob mashers, have them at the end there, at that end water, and in that way it takes care of them without needing to bother with them, potentially hitting it. So let's see here. The soul sand and chutes. Let's try that. Do I have an extra chute laying around? I do. Okay. And then do I have soul sand? I do. Perfect. So let's give this a try here. So if we just kind of make a temporary platform, put the chute here, put the soul sand here, drop that there. Okay, so this does not work like a hopper. You would have to drop it on top of the item. Okay, so that answers that question. Let's make up a couple hoppers. Let's just grab the nether wood real fast. Can I make... I cannot. So I'll have to break everything down. And I'm going to need a handful of hoppers, so we might as well just make a decent chunk of this into chests. I probably have... It's a 4x2 area, so I'm going to actually need one more. And then we're going to have collections chests and all of that stuff as well. But for right now, this will work. Okay. So let's go quickly set this up here before we get the mob masher stuff figured out. The mob mashers are going to be expensive. I won't be able to do sharpness or anything like that currently, but for right now, that's fine. So let's block the water off for a second. So we're going to want to cut it right about here. Because what I'm thinking for placement of mob mashers is 1 here, 2 here, 1 here. Or we can just do straight up just all 4 against the wall, which is probably not the worst idea. Okay. So we're, of course, going to need some sort of redstone piece under here. And I'm assuming... Yeah, let's just put soul sand here. I think this can travel... Redstone travels through this, but we'll see if it doesn't. And then we'll create the collection area, which is going to be under this soul sand here. Okay. And we'll funnel it into, a double chest. Just like so. Okay, let's get out of here. Perfect. So that should be decent. Let's kind of just keep this kind of tidied up a little bit here. Okay. So then we'll have, of course, a chest right here. All right, let's go make the mob mashers. All right, so let's get into this. We're gonna need some sticks as well, real fast. So this is the recipe. They're quite iron intensive, not even redstone intensive. But we're gonna need six, six, seven, eight swords. But I've got enough iron here to at least get a handful of them. Probably gonna need. Yeah, this is going to take quite a lot of iron. So I may not even be able to make 4 right now, at least. So we just may make the 2 that I think I was originally going to make. And we'll go from there, because I don't really want to just spend a whole lot of iron on this. Alright, so there's one. Let me make the other one. Alright, so there's the second one there. I would love to try and get this kind of stuff, but I'm not even sure if I can, genuinely, because it's just so expensive, especially this one. And of course, for like this, we could get this later, because we can get spider eyes from what we have now. But let's get just a handful of levers, probably just 2. Okay, let's try and get this started here. I'm hoping this will work. Genuinely have no idea, but we will give this a shot here. So I do want to make sure we close up this wall before we do anything. And I also do want to preface this. This is not the best mob spawner. We definitely need to get some more resources and stuff before we go, 100% into this. But for right now, this should do the job, and we will improve it upon, improve upon it with time. I also probably want to quickly try and make a better area to get the collections while we're at it. Don't mind me just punching cobblestone. Also, if you don't know how I'm able to do this, it's because I have an Apotheosis, or a artifacts piece, which gives me mining speed and base level speed, so I can punch through stone. I just kind of forget occasionally that I have it, so I don't use it all the time. Okay, but we can then put levers here. Turn these on. Fantastic. Let's make sure we turn those off for a second. I'm just hoping these are not waterloggable or anything like that. Like, not waterloggable, like destroyed by water, because that would kind of ruin it. But, okay, it looks like we're good. So let's turn this on. Let's block this up. Let's give this a whirl. Remember, the only thing we really have in here is a nether star, a piece of wool, and I believe one other thing, right? The comparator. So everything should start functioning here. We should hear spider death here in a second. Hopefully. Oh, they're crawling up the walls. Do we need to potentially have like a hole? Something like right here? Okay. Let's grab a chest or two. This is definitely not going to be the most efficient. It looks like spiders are probably the worst option. I want to try and get Capture 3. If you don't know what Capture 3 is, or Capture in general, it basically allows for you to have a chance of, whenever killing a creature, that it will drop its spawn egg. We can look at this here. So there's Capture, what is that, 7, it looks like? But makes mobs have a chance to drop their spawn egg. I believe it's like a 0.04% chance or 0.4% chance. I'm not 100% sure which one. I know it's a really slim. So just keep that in mind whenever you're thinking about using Capture. Having Scavenger actually allows for you to have a little bit higher of a percentage, of course, because you have the ability to roll the loot table twice. So you have that going for you. It's a good thing to have. I'm hoping that we can get capture 3. I'll probably do that off camera, and we'll probably switch this to a zombie spawner or skeleton spawner or creeper spawner or something. Maybe a slime spawner if I can find one, right? Find a slime in the wild. So we'll see about that. But let's plop this chest here. Okay, and we also do not have a way of collecting XP, by the way. So you can see that I'm just gathering it, which is definitely not what I want. But for right now, I think that'll work. Okay. So, we're going to wrap this one up here, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a fantastic episode. This is definitely very early on. We're going to improve this tenfold. I did enjoy looking at the quest with you guys and understanding that there is actually a main quest line and that some recipes have been altered by the All the Mods team. So hopefully we'll see this in the future. Thank you, stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.